Welcome to the Ramayan, Stories of Dharm and Devotion. I'm Sandeep, your storyteller, guiding you through the timeless epic of Valmiki's Ramayan. In today's episode, we step into one of the most dramatic and fateful moments of Ayodhya Kanda, the moment Queen Kaikeyi claims her to Boons, setting in motion a chain of events that will change the lives of Ram, Dashrath, and the entire kingdom forever.
Ayodhya was alive with joy and anticipation. The entire city was preparing for Ram's coronation. The streets were filled with music and laughter, homes adorned with garlands, and hearts brimming with pride. Dashrath, the beloved king, was ready to crown his eldest son, Ram, as his successor. Everything seemed perfect. But inside the palace, a storm was brewing. Kaikeyi, once jubilant about the coronation, now sat alone in the dark confines of a sulking chamber. Her mind, twisted by Mantra's manipulations, churned with doubts and fears about Bharat's future. As the preparations reached their peak, Dashrath noticed Kaikeyi's absence. Puzzled, he made his way to her chambers. He found her lying on the floor, her face pale and her eyes filled with silent tears. "Kaikeyi," Dashrath exclaimed, rushing to her side. "What is the matter? Why do you grieve on a day of such joy? This is the eve of Ram's coronation. The entire kingdom celebrates, yet you look as if the world has ended." Kaikeyi turned away, her voice cold. "What joy is there for me, O king? Have you forgotten the promises you made to me in the past? Or have they become meaningless in the face of your love for Ram?" Dashrath frowned, confused. "Promises? What promises, my queen? Speak plainly, for your sorrow troubles my heart." Kaikeyi sat up, her face now stern. "Do you not remember the battlefield where I saved your life? Your chariot wheel had broken, and you were defenseless before your enemies. I repaired it with my own hands, shielding you with my body. That day, you swore to grant me to boons, promising to fulfill them whenever I asked. I have come to claim them now." Dashrath's face softened. "Yes, my brave queen, I remember. Ask for anything, jewels, palaces, land. Whatever your heart desires shall be yours." Kaikeyi's eyes burned with resolve. "I do not want jewels or palaces. My first boon is that Ram's coronation be halted. My second boon is that Bharat be crowned king in his place, and Ram be sent into exile for 14 years. Dashrath recoiled as if struck. "What madness is this, Kaikeyi?" he cried. "How can you ask such a thing? Ram is our eldest son, the very soul of Ayodhya. He is loved by all, including you. Why would you banish him and crown Bharat, who himself holds no such desire?" Kaikeyi's face remained cold. "I am only asking you to honor your promise, Dashrath. A king's word is sacred. If you refuse, your reputation and your dharm as a ruler will be tarnished forever." Dashrath fell to his knees, his eyes brimming with tears. "Kaikeyi, I beg you, ask for anything else, but do not take Ram away from me. You know what he means to me. This request will destroy not only me, but also Ayodhya. Please, reconsider." Kaikeyi turned her back to him. "My decision is final. If you value your word as a king, you will fulfill my boons." Dashrath's cries echoed through the palace, his heart breaking under the weight of Kaikeyi's demands. It was as if the gods themselves had orchestrated this tragedy. And indeed, they had. In the celestial realms, Goddess Saraswati watched the events unfold, her heart heavy. She had hesitated to influence Mantra, knowing the pain it would bring, but the Devas had convinced her of the greater good. Now, as Dashrath begged Kaikeyi for mercy, Saraswati whispered to herself, "This is not the work of one heart or one mind. This is destiny, unfolding as it must." Kaikeyi's request for exactly 14 years of exile for Ram was neither arbitrary nor a product of chance. Though influenced by Mantra's manipulation and Saraswati's divine intervention, Kaikeyi's choice had a deeper cultural and strategic basis. In Hindu philosophy, time is cyclical and divided into 4 yugas: Seti Yug, the age of truth and perfection; Treta Yug, the age of sacrifice and decline; Dwapar Yuga, the age of duality, and Kali Yuga, the age of darkness and conflict. Each yuga represents a gradual decline in virtue and dharma. The Ramayana takes place during the Treta Yuga, a time when righteousness still prevails but human imperfections begin to surface. This era sets the stage for Ram's mission to uphold dharma amidst growing challenges. In the Treta Yuga, it was believed that if a prince stayed out of the kingdom for 14 years or more, he would lose his claim to the throne. Kaikeyi, aware of Ram's unwavering commitment to Dharm, understood that he would never break this tradition even if asked to return as king. By specifying 14 years, she ensured that Bharat would have enough time to solidify his position as ruler, making it difficult for Ram to reclaim the throne upon his return. Additionally, the 14-year duration carried symbolic significance in ancient Indian culture, representing a complete cycle of transformation. It was long enough for Ram to undergo trials and fulfill his divine mission without permanently severing his ties to Ayodhya. Kaikeyi's choice, therefore, was a calculated move, driven by a mix of her maternal instincts for Bharat and the subtle influence of the divine forces steering her actions. This period ensured that the exile would have lasting consequences both for Ayodhya and for the destiny that awaited Ram. Kaikeyi, once the beloved queen who had saved Dashrath's life, now stood as a symbol of determination and cold resolve. Yet, beneath her stern facade, a storm of emotions raged. Her love for Ram, her loyalty to Dashrath, and her fears for Bharat's future clashed within her. Mantra, watching from the shadows, felt a sense of triumph. But even she could not foresee the full consequences of her manipulations. Broken and defeated, Dashrath returned to his chambers. He sat in silence, his mind replaying Kaikeyi's words over and over. How can this be? He whispered to himself. Ram, who is the very essence of Dharm, banished? And by Kaikeyi, who loves him as her own son? What cruel fate has befallen us? The king, once strong and resolute, now appeared frail and helpless. He knew he had no choice but to honor his word, even if it meant tearing his own heart apart. Thus, Kaikeyi's demand for her to Boons set the stage for one of the most poignant chapters in the Ramayana. It was a moment that would test the strength of family bonds, the resilience of Dharm, and the power of love and sacrifice.
In our next episode, we will witness Ram's reaction to this devastating news. How will the prince, who embodies Dharm, respond to his stepmother's demands and his father's heartbreak? Join us as we continue this epic journey through the trials and triumphs of Ram. Thank you for listening to the Ramayan stories of Dharm and devotion. Please share this podcast with friends and family to keep these timeless stories alive. While we may not know exactly what happened, this eternal story of the Ramayana serves as a guide for how we conduct ourselves in our day-to-day lives. Until next time, may the light of Dharm guide your path.